I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. This is Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. We are broadcasting on the radio airwaves of ESPN 1090. We are on the stream of YouTube. Make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel so that when we send out content, you get a push notification. Make sure your notifications are on. We are also on all the different audio podcast platforms: Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Amazon Music, and now iHeartMedia. I don't know how, but we're on it. Got nothing to do with iHeart, but they've got our show on there. So more distribution, the better, I suppose. And you can find us tonight on Channel 4 San Diego, part of the Cox Yorview Network. As a matter of fact, I want to tell everybody that coming up in the next segment, Sean Salisbury will be here. Now, for those of you that know Sean's career, star high school quarterback at Orange Glen High School in Escondido, plays his college football at USC, plays in the NFL for a variety of teams, starting in Seattle. Alex went to your Minnesota Vikings at one point, played here with the Chargers at some point in his career. So, and Sean Salisbury was a very recognizable part of the San Diego community for a really long time, especially during his ESPN days. And now he is literally the voice of sports radio in Houston, Texas. But the reason Sean is coming on today is to talk about our mutual friend, me, Alex Browner, but all of you guys who watch and listen, all the great friends, our mutual friend, John Clayton, because really Sean Salisbury and John Clayton, they're the guys that are responsible for creating what ESPN is now, which, when I say that, meaning all the debate shows, First Take and Pardon the Interruption, and all of these debate shows. It all started with our man, John Clayton, and our friend, Sean Salisbury. Sean will be here coming up in just a couple of minutes. So you guys excited about that? I mean, I'm excited to talk to Sean about John.
Yeah, me too.
You know,
I don't think we've ever interviewed Sean during my tenure.
No, it's been a really long time since Sean's been on the show. I mean, a really long time. He used to do a bunch of charity golf events here in San Diego. Billy Ray and I used to broadcast from these events, go to all of the functions. Yeah. But Sean he's very entrenched now in the Houston community. So
what a time.
Listen. Let me, because I done held on to this long enough. I got to clear the air on something. Mm-hmm. I done said on this show many, many a times, I speak the truth, and I will never not tell the truth to this audience.
Uh-oh, I'm wondering where we're going here.
Me too. Is this like a hard left, or is this on
No. This is something that we need to talk about immediately, okay?
Is this Brown Facts?
No. This is no Brown Facts. This is an intervention for Scott Kaplan, okay? He done gone full L.A. Cap on us, y'all. I don't know if y'all follow him on Instagram or not. Well, my man's was out there wearing a romper last night.
Oh my God, dude! I saw it too.
Let me.
Did you lose a bet?
Listen, ain't that many bets in the world that I could lose to have this 6'7" steel wrapped up in a romper, my man. He was out there taking pictures. This man went to the Lakers game in a silk onesie. I need answers. I need all of the answers right now. Okay, I need the cheat code for why you was wearing this publicly.
All right. You busted me. You busted me. You got me.
You think you were gonna get away with this?
Well, no. Here's the deal. I mean, get away with it. I put it on Instagram. I put it on Twitter. I mean,
I'll be checking that stuff.
Okay. Well, here's what happened. So look, I'm living a dual life, man. You know, you ever watch one of these like shows like Dateline NBC back in the day, and they would tell you, they're like, he seemed like a very normal guy. He lives in this town. He's got a wife, couple of kids, got a job, and he travels for work. And then they find out, he's traveling for work, but when he goes to the city that he works in, guess what? He got a wife there. He got a couple of kids there. And wife 1 didn't know about wife 2. Kids 1 and 2 didn't know about kids 3 and 4. Like, how could this guy have gotten away with this life where he's got 2 totally separate personas? One is in this town and the other is in this town. And in both places, he's got jobs, he's got families. I have become that guy. Seriously. It's weird. I saw Don Benson, who's a longtime great friend, send a tweet earlier this week. He said, I'm working in Orange County this week. I'm listening to Kaplan and Crew on 1090. I'm listening to Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN in LA. He wrote in his tweet, Scott Kaplan is the only guy that can be on two different radio stations in two separate markets, doing two totally different shows at precisely the exact same time. And I didn't plan this. This just all happened. It literally just happened this way. So yeah, I'm living my real life in San Diego, and I'm living a work life in LA.
Parallel universe, man.
Right. And so what happened is this, Browner. So a couple of weeks ago, I'm living my LA life, and I'm on the radio up in LA, and the show that precedes us, Mason and Ireland up there, Steve Mason and John Ireland, they started their careers here in San Diego. They were on Extra Sports 690 back in the early days. In fact, Steve Mason was one of the original 1090 radio hosts. Did you know that?
I did not know that. Was he wearing a romper too?
He was not. But in 2003, before anybody ever heard of Darren Smith moved from New York to San Diego to produce for Billy Ray and I. Steve Mason was working at 1090. He was partnered with Philly Billy Warndell. And I'll never forget, I don't want to say who, but one of the guys at the time said to Steve Mason, before Steve was out publicly that he's gay, one of the guys said to Mason, he said, well, where are you going to live in San Diego? And he said, I'm not sure yet. And he said, well, wherever you live, don't go up there to, I don't know, near your neighborhood, Hillcrest, don't live up there, And Mason was like, he was gay and he knew it, but he wasn't public yet. And he was so offended by what this guy said to him. But before you knew it, Mason and Ireland were able to put their show back together, and they went up to LA, and they've been up there for 18 years. Mason was with me, Philly Billy, Billy Ray, Ted Leitner, Matt Vasgersian, Mark Grant, and everybody else who was part of the original lineup. Anyway, long story short, this guy, Greg Bergman, he's the producer of the Mason and Ireland show. John Ireland offered Bergman $100 in a bet that if Bergman wears a romper to a Laker game on Mason's birthday, he'd pay him $100. Don't ask me how, but I was working with Clinton Yates. You know who that is, Browner? Clinton Yates is an ESPN kind of TV talking head kind of guy. He's on Around the Horn and these kinds of shows. He's a nice guy, really good guy.
Right.
And he said, well, I'm in on the romper. He goes, I like a nice romper. And he could actually pull it off, young, good looking, black, cool, the whole thing, And then somehow they wrote me in on it. Like, you're coming to, you're going to wear a romper. So me, big mouth, I'm like, yeah, I'll do it. I'm in. But then I figured this will never really happen. I'm not going to go to LA. I'm not going to go to a Laker game. But then here's what happens. My daughter Jillian comes home from college, and she's like, Dad, I really want to go to a Laker game. Now that you have some LA presence, can we go to a Laker game? So I'm like, well, there's this Laker game on Wednesday. They're playing Philadelphia. The guys want me to come up and wear this romper thing with them. Okay, Jillian, I'll take you to the Laker game. But then it requires me to buy a romper. I don't buy rompers. And for me to even go on Amazon, shop, purchase, receive, wear, I'm not doing any of that. So the producer up there, she bought 3 rompers and then gave me my choice yesterday. And the romper that you saw me wear on Instagram and on Twitter, that was the one I chose. All right, here's a picture right here. Here's a picture. Mason's birthday yesterday. Clinton Yates' birthday the day before. There's me. There's the guy Bergman. And there's Lindsay. And so there I am with my ESPN family. You see how I'm cheating on you guys? Like, I'm living here in San Diego. I got my San Diego familia. But I'm cheating on you. I'm admitting it. You don't have to do a Dateline NBC whole, production on me. I'm cheating on you with an LA family.
Well, first of all,
yeah,
I can never be cheated on because I believe love should be spread. It should never be held hostage.
You know what, Browner? You're right. I'm not cheating on you. I'm spreading my love to other people in the northern part of the mega market.
That's right. We are here on earth to love, not to hide.
I actually think it's offensive that you said that you did it in 2 separate markets when we are part of the mega market as well.
That's right. Right. We're just South LA.
Just one big market.
Right.
That's right. We are the.
So you didn't like the romper?
Nah, bro. I'm not really into none of no man rompers, bro.
I gotta be honest with you, dude. I don't like it compared to the other two. It's not that I don't care if you wear romper.
Would you wear one?
It is what it is. I don't even think they make my size in rompers.
Oh,
It'll
listen.
look like a sheet.
No, I can get you one. I can get you one if they make it.
I just think that, first of all, your producer. Let me put it back on the screen. First of all, your producer looks like she bailed out. She looks like she's going out to like dinner.
And where her romper at?
Yeah, that's not the kind of romper that everybody else is wearing. You know what I mean? Like she's wearing like a legit
fashion.
Nice romper fashion. Like I'm gonna go out to Mastro's Steakhouse after this game.
Mm-hmm.
Bergman, love it. Unicorn. If you're gonna look stupid, you might as well go all the way stupid. Clinton, this guy looks like he's about to go to South Beach. Like this guy's way too cool. Like he actually pulled it off. I don't like yours.
Well, the choices were
like you're trying to be in like Cobra Kai or something, you know?
Well, they called this outfit that I was wearing Safari Silk. It's got like tigers all over it. They had another one that kind of looked very tie-dye like that I called the Bill Walton outfit. And then the third one was like an all-American bald eagle. And I just felt like the one that I was wearing, I could wear around Staples Center and most people would look at me and go, that's not the weirdest outfit I've seen here
in
tonight.
LA, for sure.
Yeah.
In
In
LA,
fact, I like that romper so much that in early April, I've got my girlfriend and I are going out on somebody's boat. And she's like, hey, book April 2nd, Saturday. We're going out on somebody's boat. I'm like, I'm going to wear this romper. This thing is comfortable. Kind of look good in it.
Yeah, I just think comparatively.
Well, you going to wear it again?
Yeah. Yeah. I liked it.
Hey, man.
Comfy.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's comfortable.
Hey, man.
Hey, man, what?
Good for you.
All right, let me turn this whole thing around on you, Browner, because you've now, you're telling me I look like a fool. You hate my romper.
I do.
The whole thing. Let me turn it around on you. And before I do, I want to just say to everybody, hey, Tuesday of this upcoming week at 6 p.m., we are having another IV Lounge session at iThrive MD. And I was looking, guys, at the menu here at iThrive MD. And I'm trying to decide, should I get the energy boost or should I get the immune boost? Or maybe I should get the weight loss. Yeah, I'm going to talk to Dr. Maxey and see what he thinks. But here's the deal. This was about early in the month of March. Me, Browner, and Alex all went to iThrive MD to do what they call an IV lounge. So it's literally like a barber shop, like 8 chairs, doctors putting IVs in your veins, and everybody's sitting around for 30 minutes having a great time. We were laughing our asses off. We had the best time. I was like, this is so fun. So Ra, Kel, Gay, and Dr. Damani, and Dr. Maxey, and Dr. John, they're like, this was so much fun. Let's do it again. So if you were with us earlier in the month and you loved it and you felt great and you want to come do it again, make an appointment. If you didn't make it because you're like, dude, it's the middle of the day. I can't just leave in the middle of the day, 1 o'clock to go take an IV. We've moved it to 6 o'clock in the evening. This Tuesday, March 29th, 6 p.m., Mission Valley, IV therapy sessions. Call this number, 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. When they answer, they go, hello. You go, yeah, I want to be part of the Great Friends IV Lounge. They'll book your appointment, and I will meet you there. Me, Browner, are you coming, Brown, on Tuesday night?
Yeah, I'm down, brother. Fill me up.
Okay. Alex is going to be doing his podcast, so I know he's not going to be joining us that night, but me and Browner will be there.
It'll take him an hour to get plugged anyway.
Right.
Tom.
Right. Tuesday, March 29th. I'm sure Tommy will join us. I hope he does. Tuesday, March 29th, 6 p.m., IV therapy sessions, an IV lounge, and it's all happening at iThrive MD. Make sure you check him out. Call him 858-240-1497. I know my man Louis Zapata sent me a message yesterday that he's flying to Boston for the weekend. And he's like, dude, otherwise, for the week, actually, he's like, I would have loved to have gotten another IV session with you guys because I felt like $1 million, but I'm going to be out of town. So, all right, listen, there you go. We'll be there. iThrive MD on Tuesday, March 29th, 6 p.m., moving into the evening hour so everybody can make it. All right, Browner, you busted my chops about the romper.
Well deserved.
By the way, the videos of the romper, I think I look dope. I do.
When it comes to confidence, that's all that matters, man. We all got to operate on that BDE.
Well, when I told my daughter, I'm like, listen, we're going to go to this Laker game, but I'm going to be wearing a romper. She went like this. She went, oh, cool. Cool. Like she thought it was cool. She wasn't like, no, Dad, don't humiliate me. She was like, cool.
She's an adult now.
And then she picked out that tiger print. She liked that one, you know? And then during the game, she was like, I didn't even think about it. In fact, I ran into your girl, Mina Kimes, at the game.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Now, listen. Now, hold
Whoa.
on. Man. Hold on.
Face
And
to
Mina
face?
Kimes, yeah, face to face. We said hello. We shook hands. She goes, I know you. You're the guy I saw at the Super Bowl with that really tall black guy who loved me. And I'm like, that's me. And she's like, hey, nice romper.
First of all, the fact that you've now had more than one encounter with Miss Kimes and now haven't been brought up at either time. Now that is an assault on our friendship.
That's assault, brother.
That's assault. That's felony assault on our friendship, bro.
Think that was a missed opportunity, Scott.
Which one?
The Mina Kimes interaction.
Yeah.
She should be a guest on the show today.
Yeah. It was a very brief interaction. It was a brief hello, handshake, how you doing? Nice to see you kind of deal. Although we were sitting in the suite, mine was over here, hers was over here, and I could see her the whole time.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't get no photo bomb. I couldn't get no, FaceTime video, no nothing, huh? I mean, bro, you was wearing a romper. There's no level of embarrassment for you. You could have literally just said, "Hey, my boy wants to talk to you." Here.
Can we FaceTime?
Yeah. Right. I know. I could have. I should have. All right. But let me bring it back to you, though, Browner, because this is now important. Because, Alex, while the NCAA tournament and the Sweet 16 is going to tip off shortly here this afternoon, first game coming up at the top of the hour, about 4 o'clock, right? Okay. We have results now. We have gone from the Brown Facts Sweet 16 brackets, and we're down to 8. But we got to start. But now we're going to start moving quickly as we get to our final 4, and we eventually crown the Brown Facts national champion, which is going to be the phrase that Browner is going to give up for the next year. Last year, Browner had to give up OJ is innocent. This year, Browner's going to have to give up some other phrase. So, Alex, if we can, let's start to take a look here at where we are in the Brown Facts brackets, where all great friends have a chance to vote. You go to cited.co. That's the website, or you download the Cited app for Apple or for Google. And everybody who's watching on TV right now, you're sitting at home, you're not doing anything, go to the App Store, go to Cited Debates, download the app, follow us, Kaplan and Crew, or follow me personally, Scott Kaplan. I'll follow you right back. But get on the app, Google users, Apple users, or use the website, cited.co, because here now, we are down to the final 8.
We're going to go quickly through these. So here is the updated bracket, and then we'll go one by one, and we will go through them together here. How about that?
Okay, let's do it.
All right. First of all, Brown Facts, for the first time ever, the number 16 seed has won something because waffles are better than pancakes, advanced, and they are taking on the 8 seed. Curve is a great cologne, and so far early voting for people that have been on-cited so far. Waffles is winning that one.
Okay.
I can live with that.
Okay.
All right.
I
Here we
voted for
go.
that. Okay.
Not an upset here. The number 5 seed, Ryan Weathers, is the Padres' best pitcher, is going up against the number 13 seed. Okay for adult men to bring glove to a pro game.
Okay. And right now, the Ryan Weathers hot take is winning easily.
Here's another one. Number 10, penile and penal are the same thing, is going up against the number 15 seed. There's no such thing as coconut water.
That's been proven wrong already.
Right.
First of all, we already know that I'm right about that.
Finally, number 11, Russell Wilson is the 4th best quarterback in the AFC West versus number 14, Guac sucks.
I have a feeling, and I'm not sure why, I have a feeling that Guac sucks, the 14 seed, is perhaps our future champion. I feel like Browner is going to have to do 2 things here. One, stop saying Guac sucks, because Guac is great. That's
terrible. It's disgusting.
Okay, so the fact that you hate Guac, I think it's very offensive to people. I think people love
disgusting.
Guac.
It's just so wrong.
Disgusting. It's
I'm
disgusting.
Say this. If Guac sucks wins, not only do you have to stop saying terrible things about Guac, you should have to try and eat some.
I'm allergic to it.
No, you're not.
Ooh, it's green. He probably is.
You're not allergic to it.
I already know what our final is going to be.
Okay, let me hear what you think.
It's going to be Ryan Weathers, because the way it's bracketed, Ryan Weathers from the bottom, is the Padres' best pitcher versus Guac sucks.
If it's Ryan Weathers as the Padres' best pitcher versus Guac sucks, I don't know who's going to win.
Yeah.
I really don't.
I'm hoping
I hope Ryan Weathers wins.
Right, because he's already given that up. So
yeah, right. He already knows how wrong he is.
Right, but the Guac sucks take is so bad that that'd be great to get rid of that one.
Yeah,
we got rid of all the ones that we wanted to keep: the Cooper Kupp, Ohtani, Aaron Donald. Those all lost. So these are hotter takes according to people.
All right. So look, here's what I want you to do, guys. Use the platform that we're asking you to use. I've been building this for a long time. I could talk about this all day, but I won't. So here's the thing. Go to cited.co, follow Kaplan and crew. And if you're not going to use the website cited.co, just download the app. Cited for Apple, Cited for Google. It's in the App Store. It's in the Google Play Store. It's free. Download the app. I know that can be intimidating for a lot of you guys who are over 40 years old. Relax. It's not that hard. Download the Cited app. Follow me. Follow the show. Vote on all of this stuff. And let's see what happens here, because we are headed towards, the Sweet 16 is going to tip off here very, very shortly. And the Brown Facts Sweet 16 is now down to 8. All right, stick around, everybody. We got a ton. We still have not even touched the surface, but Sean Salisbury will join us next to talk about John Clayton. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
1090 just got bigger and better. Please join us in welcoming SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate, the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. NFL, MLB, NBA, live games, the best sports talk programming with the largest signal in all of California. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Your View.
Victor Howell here, host for the NCAA Tournament Special Dance to the Dome. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four at the Dome. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and more as we dance to the Dome on Your View.
Brought to you by Kearney Mesa Chevrolet. We're San Diego proud. Minutes from anywhere on Balboa Avenue.
Main streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. Main Street Living covers what's important to you today, from our street to your street. Join Cheryl, Danielle, and Quincy for Main Street Living, Mondays at 9 on Your View.
So I became a dentist because I just love science and I love art. I have a music background, so I wanted to do something that I can use the hand dexterity that I've developed, through my musical training. We've had a practice in San Diego for 25 years. It's called the Super Dentist. For over 2 decades, I've had parents ask me the same questions on a daily basis. And so I decided to put all of this information in one place. I wrote a book. Title of it is If Your Mouth Could Talk. Because if your mouth could talk, it would tell you about the condition of your entire life. Right now, the oral care marketplace is a mess. And so we decided to launch a new company called Supermouth, which is a subscription model of oral care. And so we want to be proactively educating parents, providing the tools and the oral care products to make sure they can raise healthier, happier, more successful kids. The education piece is a key piece in our company, because if you're educated as a parent, you're going to do the right things. People can find my book, If Your Mouth Could Talk, themouthbook.com, and purchase the book there, and also get some special gifts to go along with the book.
You always want to live in the best home possible. And that's what really at the heart of what our business is all about. And for over 20 years now, we've been focused on helping people get to the right property. At Move Up San Diego, we have created systems that are duplicatable because that creates the same results. Whether it's a trade-in option that we're doing a lot of right now, which allows people to be a cash buyer before they actually sell their home, or our moving concierge program, which actually helps you not just with the buying and selling of a property, but we help with the entire move. The best way to get a hold of Move Up San Diego is to either visit our website, moveupsandiego.com, or you can download our app called Move Up Homes, or you can call me direct on my cell phone at 858-204-7259.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. only on the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Your View.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is here. Live on Your View and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal take on the Phoenix Rising FC Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Phoenix Rising FC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7:30 on Your View.
Victor Howell here, host for the NCAA tournament special Dance to the Dome. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four at the Dome. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and more as we dance to the Dome on Your View.
Brought to you by AB Tax Law. Triumph over your serious tax problems with AB Tax Law. Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
The San Diego Loyal dropped their Wednesday night match to FC Tulsa 1-0. The defense played a tight game most of the night, but in the 77th minute, Tulsa was able to get a shot just past goalie Kogi Vegas. The Loyal rallied to try to get the equalizer and nearly did as Thomas Amang entered the match and sent a shot towards the net, but it passed over the crossbar. This is the first time that the Loyal and FC Tulsa have met up. While the season is still young, the Loyal currently sit at number 2 in the Western Conference, just behind New Mexico United. San Diego's road trip continues in Arizona, where they'll face the Phoenix Rising on Saturday. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Replacing missing teeth with the new small diameter or mini implants. With us, we have an expert on the topic, Dr. Joe Gillespie. Dr. Gillespie.
Hey, Randy.
Welcome to the program.
Great to see you again.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Hey, great friends, we welcome you back to the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com, along with Grande and the Brown Man. This is Kaplan and Crew. And, I got to say, I love it when listeners contribute with great ideas. It's like taking requests back in the old days when you want to hear a song. And with all the news of John Clayton going back to last Friday, and then our whole discussion on Tuesday, Neil Umscheid said, "Hey guys, why don't you bring on Sean Salisbury?" And I was like, you know what? That is a great idea. We haven't spoken to Sean or seen Sean in a really long time. I keep up with all of what Sean's got going on in his radio broadcast career. But when you really think about when John Clayton became a star on television, it was because John was this funny, nerdy, writer guy. And Sean Salisbury was a former USC quarterback, a former NFL quarterback who had kind of that player perspective. So it was writer versus player, and it just made for great television. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to contact Sean Salisbury and ask him to come on the show. So here he is from down in Houston, Texas. At least that's where I assume where he is.
Yep.
San Diego native, a former USC great, one-time Charger quarterback. Here's Sean Salisbury back on Kaplan and Crew. Sean, it's so good to see you, man. Thank you for doing this for us today.
Great to be with you guys. And Scott, always great to be with you, man. And you, memories. I've been through a lot of tears this week because I lost a dear friend, and not only a great TV friend, the best, but one of the finest men I've ever met. And the chemistry worked, and I couldn't be more shocked or stunned. And I'm still in a fog, but I'm honored to be on with you today, man.
Well, thanks. I am too. John Clayton and Alex and I were talking about this. We talked to John every single week on this show. And by talking to him every week, that meant we talked to him off the air. And for the last, I don't know, however many years it's been, we've talked to John every week. And Sean, what was interesting was his last appearance on the show, he was laying on his couch and he was shooting his, the video part of what we do. He was shooting it with his cell phone. And he was laying down. He didn't look very good. His eyes were closed. And I thought, why is he even on the air with us today? Something doesn't seem right. But that's who he was. If you called him and asked him to talk football, no matter what condition he might be in, or no matter how much he was taking care of his wife, he would do it. The guy just loved talking football. And it was unfortunate because we could see something didn't look right.
Yeah, and I've heard of a couple people that talked to him. I talked to him, 3 weeks ago or whatever it was, and he was on my show like yours every Friday. We've been going on each other's shows since, the decade plus we worked together doing 4 downs and stuff at ESPN. And I heard a couple people say the same thing at the end, that something was not right, but you don't know because John's a grinder, right? And you are so right, Scott. I tell people this all the time. Of all the years I've been playing it and covering it and coaching quarterbacks and talking sports, I have never in my life met a guy who's more accessible with better information that loved talking football more than John Clayton. It didn't matter if it was at midnight, an overnight show, 5 o'clock in the morning. He would find a way to get it done, whether he's standing at the Super Bowl in a Radio Row, or whether he's, like you said, laying on his couch and not feeling well. When that happens with something, when John's doing that, you know how much he cares, but it's, I know people at the last couple of days were worried. I'd heard Friday morning that he was in the hospital, and then all of a sudden Friday night, we get the horrible news. So he was a reason 4 downs, that show worked. He was the guy who drove it. We had epic battles and they were never scripted. We never, ever, ever planned what we were going to say. That was real. It was not, hey, you say this, I'll say this. We were intense. But we were best of friends before it, after it, and intense on it. And somehow the chemistry that they put together worked, and it worked for a long time. And John was so proud of that, and I was too. And I'm honored to come on and talk about him. I won't miss this, just like he would never miss going on with somebody. But I've never met anybody who liked talking football. I'm talking about coaches, players, and Scott, you've covered it forever. I've never met anybody who loved it more and was more accessible for the right reasons. I miss him, and people are going to miss him dearly. And this is a Hall of Fame guy who turned a writing career, who was really good at an insider career and reporter career, into a legend, epic legend on TV. He made me a better person. He also made me a better player. And he was the first guy when I left ESPN that contacted me immediately outside my family. And it wasn't to check on 4 downs. What are we going to do? It was simply to say, ask how I was doing. He was a dear friend. I miss him greatly already.
Yeah. And it's interesting. And I remember when ESPN laid John Clayton off.
Oh,
and we brought him on the air because we had been bringing him on as ESPN's NFL insider for all this time. And I said, John, they laid you off, man. And he said, yeah, but they're paying me out, and it's not like they gave him a lump sum. They kept him employed. They're like, you don't have to work, but we'll just keep paying you. And he never really, like, I know he was upset, but he wasn't bitter necessarily. At least I didn't think so. And we had a lot of off-air conversations about this. And I think what happened is, as much as it seems like this is the worst thing that ever happened to me, I've become famous because I'm on ESPN television.
Right.
I think he ultimately found out that them paying him out, him writing for the Washington Post, him writing for other, websites, him broadcasting radio shows and podcasts, but more than anything, him not having to travel as much, he was around his wife more, which allowed him to put more time and effort and energy into his wife. And to me, in real life, forget football, forget TV, what always impressed me was I always thought, like, you're the most dedicated husband I know.
Scott, you couldn't be more right. I think John's missed like 1 or 2 Super Bowls in like 50 years. And I can't remember the first one years ago, what was the reason. But if he missed anything, it was because he was attending to his wife, Pat, who's been ill for a long time. And you're exactly right. John, think about the dedication he's had for football and talking it his whole life, and double that with his wife, Pat. That's hard to do. And if you're a father, you love the way he treated his wife. If you're a husband, you love the way he treated her. If you're a worker, you love the way he treated coworkers. And Sky, you're hitting a home run with this, because I never once in all the years I was with him heard him badmouth somebody else. He had no problem going on and giving a hardcore. People used to say, Sean, you bullied John. I said, bullied him. John whipped my butt plenty of times on TV. Don't feel sorry for John Clayton. He was prepared and got after it, but never bitter. You're right, ever. I never heard him say, ESPN did me wrong. And he never felt like he had to apologize for being late. And he didn't. It was business as usual. John came on every Friday. And if you missed him because maybe a breaking story on your radio show, like in Houston, we've had a lot of breaking stories with Correa and Watson over the last year and a half or 2 years. If you missed him, the next Friday was like, man, I really missed going on. And he was sincere. This is a loyal, trusted friend, one of the closest people. And I can't believe we're talking about him in the past tense, but you are right. A dedicated, if you want to know how to be dedicated to your wife and be unselfish and no matter what goes on, that was the priority, and yet still be able to prepare for his football takes like he did. He's on Mount Rushmore when it comes to that. And he's on Mount Rushmore in everything he's done. And like I said, what an honor it was for me to work next to him for all those years and be a friend.
Yeah, we're talking to Sean Salisbury, who, listen, if you're a San Diegan, you remember Sean Salisbury back in his high school days at Orange Glen High School in Escondido. You remember him from his years at USC. Obviously, a very distinguished NFL career. Grande as a Vikings fan, perhaps.
Yeah.
And then we all remember Sean and his great years broadcasting on television on ESPN. And when John Clayton and Sean Salisbury would go at it, and I would always hear you, Sean, this is the way I remember it, like calling him, you're like a little pencil neck geek, and he would kind of look back at you like, yeah, well, you're just a big football meathead,
Right.
To me, Sean, I don't know how you feel about it, but to me, all these shows now on ESPN, First Take and Pardon the Interruption, all these debate back and forth shows, the origin of that is really, in my opinion, you and John Clayton going at each other.
And it was, and we're proud of that. And I know John was, and it's not that we're any better than they were. I mean, I was fortunate to have a great partner, but we were the original one. We were before Tony Kornheiser and Will Bond, and before Stephen A. Smith and Bayless, and now that group. And John took great pride in it too. And those going back and forth like that, it was funny because I can remember a time, I'd throw a zinger out at John, or try to at least. And one time I said, John, we were going back and forth on quarterback play. I said, when was the last time that you took that snap under center and went to training camp and he looked at me and goes, I don't know, Sean, when was the last time you took a snap in a game? And I was like, oh, and he was exactly right. Hitting that backup hit right, hit me right where, and it was, but he did it with a straight face and neither one of us ever took anything personal, because it was our chemistry and it was our friendship that continued to grow into an epic friendship through those great battles, even though we were friends before it. And it was the original. I can remember standing in the newsroom where I was when Mark Shapiro and Mark Preisler, our big boss, Mark Shapiro, and Mark Preisler was a senior coordinating producer. They said, we want to try something different. And it was like the nerd reporter versus the jock. And I looked at him, I said, well, nobody looks at me as a jock anymore because I wasn't very good. And now, and I'm not sure anybody looks at me as the bookworm either. So where am I in this? And we laughed. And then they put it on air about a week or two later, and we didn't know how it was going to work, Scott and fellas. And it, for some reason, the chemistry just clicked. And from then on, it was John made it. I was just happened to be I was Robin and he was Batman, and it turned out
Sean,
great.
was
It was pretty awesome, and it was the original. Now people are making a lot more money doing it and having a blast doing it. They're really good at it. But John and I were proud, and John, till the day he died, I promise you, was as proud of that as anything, because it that helped make him a star. I still get asked more questions about John Clayton than I do any other thing in my career.
Sean, was it as simple as that, as two producers just saying, hey, we're going to try this? Or did you guys have a relationship off air before this even started?
Oh, I think everybody knew we had a relationship because we'd done Hall of Fame radio, the radio show at the Hall of Fame together. We'd done game night together at ESPN. We'd done a lot, and they knew. I've known John since 1986, where he was a beat writer for Seattle when I was playing for the Seahawks my rookie year. But it just started to develop over the years when we both got into media, and then we were there going back and forth. And then they thought, this is going to be, let's try this. We know their rapport's good, so they asked us, and we both said, hell yes, let's do it. And Mark Shapiro was a creative. He was the big boss there, and he loved debate. And that's where it started. Mark loved it. He said, I want to get a debate where we got this. And, it feels like a bully's going after somebody, but yet the guy who's smarter. I mean, it was that type of battle. And then the senior coordinating producer said, Sean, let's do this. And John, and how they would do it whenever we do the show, they would ask us questions apart. We never were on there say, yeah, John, you say this. They'd ask us 10 or 12 questions and then pick 4 plus a bonus one they wanted. And we didn't know what they were going to choose. And it was never you take this side or you take that side. And then the intensity kicked in, the laughs kicked in, the zingers, but the respect and love for each other. And the reason why we were never bothered by the other guy's opinion is because we both prepared for whatever they were throwing out. And John did his homework, and I liked it. And he made me better as well. I'd prepared my life as a football quarterback and for sports. But even then, because John, if you needed to know how many injuries happened in the preseason, knee injuries and ankle injuries, John was he was your guy. And then it elevated into knowing X's and O's and talking to everybody. So you had to do your homework. But that is, Alex, exactly how it started. That's exactly how it started.
One of the things that he brought to our show that really made it sink in and made it really resonate with our audience is that it didn't matter what team you asked him about. It didn't matter what player it was. He could offer something and then also offer a little quick wit back and forth about that player or about something that you said. And I think that's what made him so great, man. He gave everything at all times. And I think that's such a hard thing to find in people, to give their time generously while also giving you the hard work as if you're paying them. And that's what he did, man.
You're so right. And he didn't take it as this is just a mail it in segment. I've done 20 of these today. Let me mail it in. If he was in Pittsburgh or Seattle or coming on with me or Scott with you, every market or whatever we were going, he was prepared not only for that market, for anywhere else you'd go. I never once, when John Clayton was coming on to talk to me on my show and we played 4 Downs on the radio, he never knew what the questions were going to be when I teed him up, or I had my producer tee him up and we'd play. Never. So he was always ready for anything. And I can just recently, over the last year, when Urban Meyer got hired, whether people like Urban Meyer or not, I can remember John, we were talking about it, and John said, it's not going to work. He didn't trust the hire. He didn't like it. He didn't think it was going to work. And I was like, well, you got to take a flyer on Urban Meyer before Jacksonville hired him, because it's Urban Meyer. He's a free agent. We got to see. Well, who was right on that one? Most of us that thought Urban Meyer, you at least got to try, have found out that at least for that team, it wasn't the right way. And John hit the ground running on it and never bought into, from the beginning until Urban Meyer was no longer there, which we talked about. John was spot on. And you are right. He was prepared for everything and took nothing for granted, not only on the air, but off the air. He was a phenomenal human.
Yep. And we're talking to Sean Salisbury this afternoon about our friend John Clayton. And, Sean, one of the best parts about what happened here was John was also a very playful guy.
Oh, yeah.
So Browner here is a huge Bears fan, and John would come on, and before we'd even bring anything up, he'd just start poking at Browner. The Bears. He'd tell him about how Justin Fields isn't a good player yet. He's not ready. He doesn't have an offensive line. He doesn't have the staff to coach him up at this point. He needs time. And he and Browner here would go back and forth, and it really reminded me of the old days of you and John. And what was interesting is we'd have people in our audience contact me and go, listen, I think Browner's coming off as really disrespectful to John Clayton. And I'd say, no, you don't get it. Clayton actually loves it. He's never calling me going, who is this guy? And why is he talking to me this way? In fact, at one point, Clayton tells Browner here, he was Browner, bottom line, you don't know anything about quarterbacks in the NFL. And people just loved it the way Clayton would school our boy Browner here.
I love it because, it sounds so familiar because he'd say, Sean, you don't know how to play quarterback when you played, let alone don't know anything. And here I am as a quarterback saying, is this guy convincing me that I don't know anything about quarterbacks? But it's such a great story because you're right. And people that would watch are all going and say, man, are you guys friends? I said, not only were we friends, we're best of friends. Well, was that real? Yes, it was real. But John, matter of fact, John wanted more battle than he wanted less, Scott, as you're talking about, Browner, you're talking about. He didn't want to back down from getting after it because he felt he was going to throw as many back at you. And we've had that conversation. It's ironic you're talking about Justin Fields. We've had the quarterback. Some of our biggest battles over the course of time have been rookie quarterbacks, first-round picks, playing them early. I've always been under, if you don't have a Hall of Fame quarterback, if the rookie's as good as the starter, but he's a rookie, you play his ass. And if he can't handle getting hit in the mouth and throwing picks as a rookie, then he mentally and emotionally, you shouldn't have drafted him anyway. And John's under the no. He was like, take 2-3 years if you can. They're usually not ready. So we would battle like crazy. So it doesn't shock me, Browder, that you were on the Justin Fields side, which I would have been. Play his ass now, and Andy Dalton could have come off the bench. And John was on the side. Andy Dalton's a veteran. And he was always the smooth operator with that. But the battles were epic. And to people out there listening to this, and I know you have watching, I know you have a ton of them. Do not feel sorry. Feel sorry for Browner and me. We missed John. But we were the ones that John went after because he was so brilliant, and he was brilliant television. I just only wish that people, you see, I wish I had another weekend with him, another Friday with him, another Monday with him. And he knows I loved him. And he loved him, and I knew he loved me. And the thing about it is that he, and you try to express it, I did every week. I don't think I ever hung up the phone without telling him I loved him, and that's true. But I thought I was going to be doing this for 30 more years with John, right? So but he left so many good stories for us to laugh. And we're mourning over it. But John, there was a lot of great laughs and epic moments with John Clayton. And you look around the country, it seems like every person that talks about him has had a John Clayton story or 20. So don't feel sorry for John. John was a dominant presence on television, and his commercial that he was so proud of is epic too.
Yeah,
John, the ponytail, it was phenomenal. And it was almost like validation to a Hall of Fame career. It was like, when you get a Sports Center commercial, you're the man. Yeah. And I could promise you, John smiling down saying, Sean, did you ever get a Sports Center commercial? The answer is absolutely not. Okay.
Sean Salisbury is here this afternoon. Sean's career has gone from, ESPN and he's been on television because we used to watch Alex in the studio all the time, the show that you used to have, Sean, on the BN network.
Right.
And now Sean is really like the voice of sports in Houston, Texas. I'm curious, do you ever make it back to San Diego?
I do, as often as I can. And I still, and Mike Tirico used to talk about this. He goes, Sean, every time I go to San Diego, I wonder why I ever leave. And I'm sure you've had many conversations with Mike. Yeah, I miss it. Scott, as we sit here today, I'd love to beam myself up, Scotty, and have myself sitting in San Diego and heading over to Del Mar and eating dinner there on the beach tonight. I get there as often as I can. I live in Texas now, but you will never, ever take out not only the people in the city, which is the best city in the world in San Diego, but I always have one eye to San Diego, and my high school years were my favorite, my Charger years. That's never going away from me, my man. Yeah, I miss it. I get out there as often as I can. We don't have a good enough beach yet here in Galveston's fine, but it ain't San Diego. So
yeah, right.
I do miss it. Yeah.
I am curious, and we'll let you go here. We got about a minute and change. No one has said what happened to John. Do you know?
I know this. Mort called me on Saturday, Chris Mortensen, and we had a good conversation. And the family's trying to go with the respect part of it until they're ready to announce it. And Mort reemphasized to me that, Sean, it wasn't a long-term illness, but out of privacy for him and a privacy for them, for John and Pat's requests and John's sister, they're just going to wait until it's time, and they'll have a big celebration, I think, in Seattle over the summertime. But they're just the privacy of it. And Pat also is going, Pat's health. So just trying to time it up. But it was a quick illness, which doesn't make it better because we didn't get to say goodbye as much as we wanted. But I think the respect and the privacy, I don't think you're going to hear about that until Pat makes it known, and if there are a couple people that know, they're going to keep it under lock and key, which they should until Pat's ready.
Yeah, I guess I hate to be so selfish about it. I mean, but
I agree.
You know how many of us are like trying to figure out like what happened. So, hey, Sean, it is great to talk to you. Next time we talk, let's talk football.
I'm in,
and it will be our homage to our friend John Clayton. And we'll talk some football, and we'll I mean, the offseason has been ridiculous. The moving around of players and quarterbacks and broadcasters.
Yep.
I mean, it's
for big money, right?
Right.
That's right.
Huge money.
I would love it. Anytime you guys want, I'm here for you, and I'll have this switcher thing so ready you guys will not believe it. But, great stuff. It's great to be back in the hometown of San Diego, and you guys keep killing it, man. I'm proud of you, and Scott, you have elevated to an epic level, brother, and your show is awesome and everything you're doing. Thanks for including me on it and for allowing me to honor John on your show.
Oh, man. Thank you so much for doing it.
Appreciate
Sean
you, brother.
Salisbury, appreciate you. Stick around, everybody. We're back right after this.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Your View.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is here. Live on Your View and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal take on the Phoenix Rising FC Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Phoenix Rising FC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7:30 on Your View.
Replacing missing teeth with the new small diameter or mini implants. With us, we have an expert on the topic, Dr. Joe Gillespie. Dr. Gillespie.
Hey, Randy.
Welcome to the program.
Great to see you again.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
The San Diego Loyal dropped their Wednesday night match to FC Tulsa 1-0. The defense played a tight game most of the night, but in the 77th minute, Tulsa was able to get a shot just past goalie Kogi Vegas. The Loyal rallied to try to get the equalizer and nearly did as Thomas Amang entered the match and sent a shot towards the net, but it passed over the crossbar. This is the first time that the Loyal and FC Tulsa have met up. While the season is still young, the Loyal currently sit at number 2 in the Western Conference, just behind New Mexico United. San Diego's road trip continues in Arizona, where they'll face the Phoenix Rising on Saturday. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View.
You're listening to the 50,000-watt Powerhouse, bringing you the new generation of radio up and down all of California with a little bit of attitude. This is SoCal Sports Talk, the all-new and mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is here. Live on Your View and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal take on the Phoenix Rising FC Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Phoenix Rising FC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7:30 on Your View.
Main streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. Main Street Living covers what's important to you today, from our street to your street. Join Cheryl, Danielle, and Quincy for Main Street Living, Mondays at 9 on Your View.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Your View.
Hollander Dental is unique because we have been serving the Carlsbad community for over 25 years. We have a very spacious office with ample parking and state-of-the-art technology. The office has been newly renovated, so all the equipment and facility is brand new. Any patient visiting Hollander Dental can expect to be taken care of at every step of their visit.
With care and love and support. So when we're going through tough times, as dental work is and can be, they make it easy for us as patients.
Investing in your smile and your overall dental health in the long run will help you save money by preventing other medical conditions.
I would absolutely recommend Hollander Dental.
I do recommend Hollander Dental to anyone I know who needs something done.
You always want to live in the best home possible. And that's what really at the heart of what our business is all about. And for over 20 years now, we've been focused on helping people get to the right property. At Move Up San Diego, we have created systems that are duplicatable because that creates the same results. Whether it's a trade-in option that we're doing a lot of right now, which allows people to be a cash buyer before they actually sell their home, or our moving concierge program, which actually helps you not just with the buying and selling of a property, but we help with the entire move. The best way to get a hold of Move Up San Diego is to either visit our website, moveupsandiego.com, or you can download our app called Move Up Homes, or you can call me direct on my cell phone at 858-204-7259.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Victor Howell here, host for the NCAA Tournament Special Dance to the Dome. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local teams all the way to the Final Four at the Dome. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and more as we dance to the Dome on Your View.
Brought to you by Airy Church Live at Pechanga Arena, San Diego on Friday, May 6th, 2022. Tickets at access.com. The 2022 San Diego Loyal season is here. Live on Your View and yourview.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal take on the Phoenix Rising FC, Saturday, March 26th at 7:30 p.m. Support the San Diego Loyal as they make their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Phoenix Rising FC versus the San Diego Loyal, Saturday at 7:30 on Your View. If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on Your View, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. and visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Your health is brought